Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Today I want to talk about traveling and safety when you're traveling, while especially on the cruise ships themselves. As you know, things can happen anywhere in the world, and you don't need to be on vacation for something to happen in a foreign country. Things can happen in your own neighborhood. You could be at the movie theaters. Anything can happen nowadays. But I want to do some watch outs for when you're on a cruise ship, and especially for women traveling in groups together on a girls trip, or if you're a single woman traveling by yourself, because incidences have happened recently that some court cases have come up, and I thought I should just go over some watch outs so you are safe while you're traveling. And I'm going to talk about those things right after this. So first off, when you're traveling, especially if you're traveling alone, you can get a false sense of security from the location that you're at. For instance, if you go to Disney World, how many people think anything bad would ever happen at Disney World? But people get robbed at Disney World. Same thing on a cruise ship. You're on a cruise ship, you feel there's security cameras everywhere, the crew is around, and so you feel overly confident that you're perfectly safe and you let your guard down. Well, there are creeps and bad people in this world everywhere. So I just want to give you some hints on things you should not do while you're on the cruise ship, especially if you're females traveling in a group or you're on your own. So one thing I've heard recently, where there was a group of ladies who were traveling together, and one lady started feeling sick. She started drinking too much, and she was feeling a little bit under the weather with her group. And a nice gentleman came up who was part of the cruise staff and says, "Oh, don't worry ladies, you keep on having fun. I'll escort your friend back to the room." Never let your friend leave with a member of the crew. Somebody else go with them, or all of you go together, because as you can guess, things didn't go well for that lady who was taken away by the other person, and court charges are pending on that person. So they might seem like the nicest people in the world, but creeps can seem like the nicest people in the world sometimes. They're very good at getting your confidence. So never ever let one of your friends go alone with anybody, any crew member, especially if they don't seem to be doing too well or feeling sick. It's just nothing you should do. Another thing that happened recently that really catches me, if somebody comes up to you and says, "Congratulations, you've won a free massage," even if it's somebody who works in the spa, and they say, "Come with me and follow me and you get your free massage." Well, massages can be $300 on a cruise ship, and you think, "Hey, I just saved $300. But why were you singled out to get a free massage sitting up by the pool area or sitting alone in the bar area? Things like that just don't happen. You might win a free massage if you go to one of their seminars at sea and talk about their beauty products or things along those lines, but very rarely, if ever, or is anybody ever just going to walk up to you and offer you a free massage. Never ever go alone with somebody who just walks up to you anywhere on the cruise ship, especially early, getting into the later evenings, or if they're going to say, "Let's go to this area where there are less people on the ship." That's a big watch out, and I would report it immediately to other crew members. Unfortunately, these kind of things do happen, and it's just one of those things. It happens everywhere, right? You could be at a 5-star resort hotel in Dubai and think, with high security, and things can happen. So the best way to protect yourselves is to still be secure, know yourself in your surroundings, but don't be overconfident that everything is la-di-da because you're in a protected environment on an enclosed area with security and cameras, because the people who do bad things know how to get around those situations, and they're predators. So yeah, now let's talk about shore excursions. If you're single and traveling on your own, never ever just head off into the city by yourself off the ship. Never just get out and walk around. Do shore excursions, and I would highly recommend shore excursions booked directly through the cruise line. I know it's a little more expensive, but you're getting security of knowing the fact that they're picking you up directly at the port, they're dropping you off directly at the port, and you're surrounded by other people from your ship. As opposed to booking a shore excursion through Viator or one of the booking agencies out there, and having people from anywhere, from hotels, from other ships, all into that group. This group is coming back to your ship, and there is a little bit of security in knowledge of that. Plus, all these shore excursions have been vetted by the cruise lines themselves, because they don't want anything bad happening to their passengers. They don't want news getting out that something happened on their shore excursions, because that's just horrible publicity for them, and it makes it harder for them to stay in business if those kind of things happen. So they are double checking those shore excursions and the people who run them, and if there's any incidences at all, they go to another supplier. So always book, especially on your own, and never just jump into a taxi by yourself and say, take me to the beach. Yeah, it's a scary world out there, and I don't like the thought of anything happening to anybody on the cruise ship just because they were too trusting. And it's so easy to be trusting because people can be seemingly so nice and generous and offering you things that you think you are, you're winning. Or there was actually a case recently where a woman who has been on a certain cruise line numerous times and actually had met a bartender 2 or 3 times, and just struck up conversations, nothing flirtatious or anything, just she was being nice, he was being nice over different cruises. And then one day on one cruise, she was one of the last people leaving the bar, and he struck up a conversation with her. And before you know it, the bar was empty and bad things happened. And that case again is now in the courts. And it's you feel trustworthy. You even have a friend. You think this person is somebody you actually know. You've met them a few times. You never know. So always have your wits about you, and never get into a situation where you're alone with a crew member, another passenger that you don't know, or any situation along those lines. Stay in groups, travel together. Don't be the last person in a bar at night when it's closing at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning. So those are just some things to be aware of, especially if you're a female traveler traveling by yourself or in a group of your friends. Never get into a situation where you're taken away from your group of friends for any reason, and never let yourself be the last person by yourself in an area. Chances are nothing's going to happen, but why take the risk? Why set yourself up for something bad to happen? I'm not going to say I hope you like this video, because some of the things that I talked about in here actually happen to people on cruise ships, and these situations are pending in the courts, and I feel sorry for these ladies, because they had a false sense of security, and they really thought they were good, they were safe, they were going to be okay, and it turns out they weren't. So I'm following these cases, and I will let you know if there's something strange happens with the court case, like it gets thrown out for a reason, but the cases are pretty strong and the evidence is pretty strong from the situations that I was mentioning. So I'm hoping that the perpetrators of these crimes get everything that's coming to them. Until next time, if you like these videos, all right, I'll say it, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, please hit the subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.